Hey everybody, Total Top 10s here. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the digital world and uncover its hidden secrets. Today we're talking about video games that seem to have looked into a crystal ball and predicted the future. From global pandemics to the rise of AI, we're about to explore 10 games that somehow knew what was coming. So buckle up and hit that subscribe button. Let's kick things off with a classic Deus Ex, released in the year 2000. This cyberpunk masterpiece is still hailed as one of the greatest games ever made, but it also holds a dark secret. In Deus Ex, the iconic New York City skyline is missing the Twin Towers. At the time, players didn't think much of it. The developers explained their absence as a simple matter of memory constraints. But then, just a year later, the unthinkable happened. 9/11. Was it a chilling premonition, a terrifying coincidence? You be the judge. Next up, we're diving into the world of espionage with Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, released in 2001. This game was ahead of its time, not just in gameplay but also in its prophetic message about the future of information. Metal Gear Solid 2 warned us about the dangers of digital misinformation and social media manipulation years before Facebook and Twitter even existed. The game's villain, the Patriots, controlled the flow of information, manipulating the masses through carefully crafted narratives. Hideo Kojima, the game's visionary creator, saw it coming and used Metal Gear Solid 2 to warn us about the dangers that lay ahead. Hold on to your hazmat suits because things are about to get eerily real. In 2016, Ubisoft released Tom Clancy's The Division, a game that hit a little too close to home. The premise? A deadly virus spreads through contaminated cash on Black Friday, sending New York City into chaos. Fast forward to 2020, and the world found itself battling the COVID-19 pandemic. The Division predicted not just the pandemic itself, but also the societal breakdown, the scramble for resources, and even the race for a vaccine. Cyberpunk 2077 is more than just a game. It's a glimpse into a future that's rapidly becoming our present. Released in 2020, Cyberpunk 2077 paints a picture of a world dominated by megacorporations, cybernetic enhancements, and artificial intelligence. Companies like Neuralink are developing real-life brain implants, AI is automating jobs, and the line between the digital and physical world is blurring. Cyberpunk 2077 warned us about the potential consequences of unchecked technological advancement, the erosion of privacy, the widening gap between the rich and poor, and the increasing influence of corporations. Are we heading towards a dystopian future straight out of Cyberpunk 2077? Remember the Wii Fit? That quirky game that had us swinging our arms and contorting our bodies in front of our TVs? Back in 2007, people laughed at the idea of active gaming. But guess what? Nintendo was onto something big. Fast forward to today, and fitness trackers, standing desks, and virtual workouts are all the rage. The Wii Fit, in its own way, paved the way for this fitness revolution. It made working out fun and accessible, breaking down the barriers between gaming and staying active. In 2011, Battlefield 3, a first-person shooter known for its intense action, shocked the world with its eerily prescient storyline. The game depicted a fictional war between Russia and NATO forces over Ukraine. At the time, it seemed like pure fiction, a worst-case scenario confined to the digital world. But then, in 2022, reality hit hard. The Russia-Ukraine conflict erupted, mirroring the events of Battlefield 3 with shocking accuracy. Was this just a coincidence, or did the developers of Battlefield 3 have access to information we didn't? In 2014, Ubisoft released Watch Dogs, a game that explored the dark side of smart cities and the growing threat of hacking. The game introduced us to a world where everything is connected, from traffic lights to security cameras, all controlled by a central operating system. And guess what? Hackers can break into this system, wreaking havoc on the city. Fast forward to today, and cyber attacks are more common than ever. Hackers have shut down pipelines, hospitals, even entire cities, holding our digital lives hostage. Watch Dogs wasn't just a game, it was a warning. It showed us the vulnerabilities of our increasingly connected world and the devastating consequences of cyber warfare. In Fallout New Vegas, a post-apocalyptic RPG released in 2010, Players encounter a curious sight robots delivering the news. At the time, it seemed like a quirky detail in a world populated by mutants and raiders. But in our world, AI-generated news anchors and automated content creation are becoming increasingly common. News organizations are turning to AI to generate financial reports, sports updates, and even breaking news stories. Fallout New Vegas, in its own satirical way, may have predicted the rise of AI journalism and the potential displacement of human journalists. SimCity, the beloved city-building simulator, wasn't just about zoning and managing budgets. Since its release in 1989, the game has featured natural disasters, from earthquakes to tornadoes, forcing players to deal with the consequences. But here's the thing, SimCity also introduced the concept of rising sea levels and extreme weather events, decades before climate change became a mainstream concern. As your city grew, pollution increased, leading to rising temperatures, more frequent disasters, and even coastal flooding. SimCity, in its own way, was sounding the alarm about the environmental impact of human activity. It was a warning wrapped in a game, and we should have paid attention. Call of Duty. Advanced Warfare took us to a future where war is privatized back in 2014. The game envisioned a world where private military companies, or PMCs, have become more powerful than governments, wielding advanced technology and operating with little oversight. At the time, it seemed like a dystopian fantasy, a worst-case scenario for the future of warfare. But in the real world, the influence of PMCs is growing. Call of Duty. Advanced Warfare raised some uncomfortable questions about the privatization of war, the accountability of these corporations, and the potential for unchecked power. So there you have it, 10 video games that seem to have predicted the future with uncanny accuracy. Are these just crazy coincidences, or do game developers know something we don't? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-blowing content. Until next time, stay curious.